Mr. Sparrow, and today I'm going to help you use the Trader Support Service to move some goods from Great Britain to Northern Ireland. So to do this, you're going to need to be registered for TSS. Now, if you're not registered already, there are some instructions below on how to go about that. So this video assumes that you're already registered. Just a note on the TSS, it is completely free to use. If you decide at any point that doing this just isn't for you, I do offer it as a service. There's a link to the price list below. You can also ask whoever you book your ferry with to do this for you, and they will probably provide that service also, and it's entirely up to you what way you want to go on that. So the first thing that we have is we have some goods to move from Great Britain to Northern Ireland. So I've got an example of a shipment. Now, because for demonstration purposes I can only use my own EORI number, I can't go using other people's for this kind of thing. So the movement that I'm going to describe here is, I'm Mr. Sparrow. I have a pet wholesalers in London. I have a pet shop in Belfast. And I also run a trucking company, Sparrow Transport. And what I would like to do is I'm going to get one pallet of dog toys from my London wholesaler, and I'm going to use my own transport company to bring those back to my pet shop for sale in Belfast. And this is going to be a perfectly straightforward process. So step one, lay out all of the documents related to this shipment in front of us. So again, this is good practice, and this is more or less the same procedure for getting any cargo onto a ship anywhere in the world. It's the same principle. You will need a commercial document. So in this case, we have a commercial invoice, and this shows the transaction, why these goods are actually moving, whether they've been sold by the company in London and bought by the company in Belfast. We will have a transport document of some kind, which in this case, because it's road freight, is a CMR, and that's provided by the transport company. And we have some booking details for a boat, which in this case is the Crown Ryan to Belfast ferry. So step two then is we're going to summarize this information on a summary sheet. I have created a summary sheet specifically for goods moving from GB to NI with the Trader Support Service, and that's what we're going to use for this. So it is just, it's turned the pages and pages of information into just one sheet, and there are 17 boxes to be filled in, and all of the information that we need should be in front of us. So in a moment we're going to fill this in, and just before we do, this is available to you as a PDF download or as an Excel download. You can print off the PDF, and if you're very old school like me, you can do this manually, and it's still very worth doing. However, it is a better idea to fill it in on the Excel sheet on screen, because that will make our life easier, and it will also cut down on potential mistakes. And if you're thinking logistics at every stage, you should be trying to cut down on potential mistakes. Human error is 99.99% of everything that goes astray, and it's actually very, very easy to rule it out as long as you continually keep looking for ways to do it. So that's something I'm going to keep talking about like a broken record, but it is just about the most important thing. So let's start filling this in. Okay, so we have the summary sheet on screen in front of us, and we're ready to start filling it in. The sheet is protected, so you can only click on the yellow boxes, so that's just to help guide you through it without making a mess of the sheet. So the first thing, we're going to give this a reference number, and it's the first job we've done, so we're going to call it number 1. And returner tab will take you through the boxes. So reg number, this comes from our CMR, and that is ST1. Nationality of transport, that again is information from the trucking company. In this case, it's UK. Carrier EORI is my EORI because I am Sparrow Transport. Expected arrival date and time, now that's tomorrow morning. This comes from the ferry company, and it will generally show on the booking email or booking text message that they send out to you. And you can enter the time in just this format, and it will then reformat it in the longer format shown, and that is just to allow for it to be copy and pasted directly into TSS. That's the format they use. So port of arrival is Belfast. Place of loading, a one-word answer to that question, so just the town or city where the goods are loaded, London.
Place of unloading, same rules apply, so it's just Belfast. We ignore everything else except the yellow boxes for the minute. That's all we're worried about. So transport document number is the CMR number, and that's it up on the top right of the CMR. Okay. Goods description, a plain language description that allows for visual identification. So what that means is you have to describe what the goods actually are in such a way as if somebody opens the doors of the vehicle and looks inside it, what they will see will match that description. So with that in mind, one pallet of dog toys is fine. Constant or EORI, and because we're using mine all the way through this, I'm just going to use copy and paste and manually change these two to GB. Once we actually fill it on the portal, the reasons why I use the prefixes that way will become clear, but we'll talk about that later. So just to complete this, package marks, if it's anything with a serial number or a chassis number, that's where you should put this in. In most cases where it's just boxes, they won't have any serial numbers or anything, they'll just be addressed. So the package marks are addressed, and universally people shorten that to ADDR. Type of packages, and now beneath there is a link that will give you the full list of packages from the customs point of view. So customs have a designated list of what they accept as a package type. The most common ones you'd be familiar with, it's pallet, a box. In this case, it's a pallet. Number of packages is 1. Now, you'll notice it's 1,000 boxes on one pallet. For customs purposes, that is one package. You count the number of outer packages. So if you have 10,000 boxes, but they're coming on 10 pallets, then for customs purposes, the number of packages is the 10. It's always the lowest number of the largest type of package. Item gross mass is 250 kilos. And that is complete. So we're going to print a copy off to go with the rest of our documents. And we're going to save this and then have it open on screen and get the TSS portal open. And we're ready to start entering the TSS information.
So we've completed our on-screen form and we have the Trader Support Service up and running in the other window. Dual screen is ideal for this, but if you're using a single screen, it's still very easy just to flip between them. So we're about to cut now. I'm going to cut to a screen capture and just show you how easy this is.
Let's do this thing. So we're logged into Trader Support. We have the spreadsheet open on the left-hand side and we're going to make a start. So first of all, in Trader Support, right down to the bottom of the first page and select Start a Declaration. And the type of declaration we need is an entry summary declaration. Okay, so we're just going to start copying and pasting from our summary sheet across to the portal. And the grey boxes here to the right of our summary sheet match up to the names of the fields on TSS if you get stuck. But otherwise, it's just a straightforward copy and paste job. We're only paying attention to the red asterisk fields, so we're ignoring anything that isn't mandatory. There will be one exception to that I'll come back to in a bit. So we're going to make a start. So trailer number. Okay, nationality of means of transport. Now, this part has a drop down, so you'll need to just click and confirm. Carrier EORI. Arrival date and time. And this is also, I apologize, it's not a drop down. Port of arrival is a drop down. So paste in Belfast and select Belfast Port. Place of loading. Place of unloading. And this is just Control C and Control V back and forth. So we just follow the instructions on the summary sheet. Click Save as Draft. Okay. Then scroll to bottom of page and hit New beside consignment information. Okay. And answer the first question, which is, does consignment contain goods subject to control? That is no. Confirm, yes, I'm sure. Okay, so we're just back to copy and paste again for this section. So transport document number. Description of goods. This is the one non-asterisk field that we will use, trader reference, and we're going to paste our reference number into that. And the reason why is that's going to make our life a lot easier when it comes to looking back at this in future for doing supplementary declarations and all that kind of thing. So it's a very handy reference to have in there. And then we're just back to copy and pasting. So consignor Iori, consignee Iori, importer Iori. Now you notice that the first two have the XI prefix, second two have the GB prefix. On a separate video, I go into a lot more about Iori numbers and what these prefixes mean. But for now, you just need to know the top two is XI, the bottom two are GB. Okay, so we hit save. We hit save. Okay, that's it. And now, following the instructions again, declaration goods, hit new. And this is the final screen to be completed. So just 4 more copy and pastes. So package marks, package type, and this one also is the drop down where you have to click and confirm. Number of packages and gross mass 250. Now this again asks for good description, and it's just the same in this case. We're just pasting the same description, 1 pallet of dog toys into this field again. The reason why it asks you in 2 places is in case you have multiple consignments on the same vehicle, but in this case you don't. So we're hitting save. Okay. Now, this is a bit that confuses everybody, and it's not that you're crazy or that you don't understand customs, it's just a really strange bit of website design. In order to be able to submit this, we need to go back up to the top and click here on the part of the reference that starts with DEC. So we're going back into the declaration. It's just a crazy bit of website design that I don't understand, but we just scroll down to the bottom of that page and hit submit. Our entry is submitted. And there we go, that's it. Now we just wait for the confirmation email to come in from TSS, but basically, job is done.
So congratulations, you're done. You've received your confirmation email from TSS, and there is just one final very important step to complete, which is you're going to take the initial documents, invoice, CMR and ferry booking, and put them with your confirmation email from TSS with your summary sheet on top, and staple them together and file them somewhere. And that sounds crazy, but that's incredibly important. Do keep the confirmation email from TSS because it has the MRN number. The MRN number is the result from all the input you just given. The MRN number is what you get back. So that's vital that you keep that. But otherwise, this is a job done. You then have an ENS entry and an MRN number that you could give to a haulier for them to use to bring the goods across. If you want to bring the goods across yourself, you have to arrange a GMR barcode, and in the next video I'm going to show you how to do that.